What's up out there, American truckers? Hope all of y'all are doing well, staying safe, staying out of trouble. This video here won't come out for another week or so. Since I'm in the hotel room and I got plenty of room, I figured I'd make a few of these and then I'll get them edited and put up and set to come out at a later date. That way they're not all coming out at once. Give y'all a chance to watch them. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. All that good stuff that YouTubers say. I sure appreciate it. We're going to talk about mega carrier versus small companies. First, what is a mega carrier? You'll hear different opinions on what a mega carrier is, right? You know what I'm saying? Some people will call a mega carrier any company over 500 trucks. In my opinion, 500 trucks is a small company. In my opinion, a mega carrier would be any company over 1,000 trucks. You know, that would be a mega carrier. Now that doesn't mean I consider all companies below 1,000 trucks small. You know what I'm saying? I believe they're kind of in the middle. When someone says small carrier, what I tend to think is less than 100 trucks. You know, that's a small carrier. Above that, they're all kind of in the middle. You know, they got a little bit of the small carrier mentality and a little bit of the mega carrier mentality. They're not full-blown mega carriers, but they're not full-blown small either, you know. A full-blown small company is a company, in my opinion, under 100 trucks. A mega carrier is a company over 1,000. All right. First off, what's the differences? Well, they're both doing the same job. So there really isn't much difference there. I've worked for both. I've worked for little companies I've worked for a company one time that had 4 trucks. And I currently work for a mega carrier. I wouldn't say that either one is for everybody. Depends on you. But I'm going to kind of tell you the differences. People that tend to prefer mega carriers normally have families at home. Normally are looking for retirement, insurance, and a decent wage. All right. You take a mega carrier. If a mega carrier, let's say they got 5,000 trucks. If they're profiting $20 a day per truck, they're making a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? They're covering their bills. So they got more money in there to pay drivers more. You know, that's like here where I work. 100,000 a year is not uncommon. You know, and I work for a mega carrier. It's not uncommon. That's 100,000 a year plus insurance, plus medical, dental, vision, life insurance, 401k, plus all those things. You know, so if you figure everything, it's probably closer to 100 and a quarter, maybe 130. If you figure in everything that goes along with it, plus we get profit sharing, all that kind of stuff, right? So that's typically who's looking for a mega carrier. What's the downside of a mega carrier? Well, you're going to be a number. You know, there's 5,000 or 6,000 of you. They don't know you. Some of the mega carriers out here try to act like they're personalized, but they're not. But you got to be tough skinned. You got to be thick skinned. I don't care. I don't care if they know me or not. To be honest with you, I'd much rather they didn't. You know, and I'm going to tell you why. Let's say old Snapper does something stupid today and he messes up. Well, let's say I run over something and I get a flat tire. I run over a piece of rebar. I get a flat tire. You think anybody noticed it? Nope. They sure didn't. Not in a mega carrier. They never missed a lick. Nobody in there noticed it. The person I talked to on the phone talked to me about 10 minutes. He's off the phone. He's on the phone with somebody else dealing with some other issue. It's real short. It's real short-lived. You know what I'm saying? Now, when you're with a small carrier and you do that, the whole office knows it. You make any mistake, the whole office knows it. And since they don't get mistakes that often, they all remember it. You know what I'm saying? I've dealt with that, so I don't particularly care for that. I like the mega carriers when it comes to that. But it has its ups and downs. Both sides have their goods and bad. One of the good things about a small carrier is they know who you are. If you're the type of person that wants recognition and you want to be called by your name when you walk in the office and all that kind of good stuff, well, then a small carrier is where you're going to want to be, somewhere less than 100 trucks. Dude, I can walk in the office where I work. They don't know who I am. There might be a couple of people in there like Snapper, they know who I am. Some of them watch my YouTube channel, but for the most part, they don't know who I am. But honestly, I'd rather them not, When it comes to work, I try to fly under the radar as much as possible. I don't like being noticed at all at work, at all. Another advantage to a small carrier might be they're a little more flexible in the home time because they know who you and they know your family. Mega carriers are more corporate. They got a set amount of home time, and that's what it is. Mega carriers tend to try to prevent lawsuits. So they're sending out a lot of messages to remind you not to do certain dumb shit. Whereas with a small company, they ain't got time for all that. They're not sending out messages to remind you not to do dumb shit. Some drivers prefer that. Myself, I just ignore it. Be honest with you, I don't even open those messages. I get a load assignment. I only look at 2 messages. I look at my fuel and my load assignment. And Creed, if you're watching this, you're wasting your money on the rest of those because I don't even look at them. All I need to know is where my fuel locations are and my load assignment. Then I'll send a message 11 for driver directions. Excuse me. I'll send a message 11 for driver directions. And for those of y'all that don't work here, driver directions is where a previous driver who's been there has written the directions down. A lot of times what they'll put in there is things like parking and what door to check in at. A lot of stuff like that so that even though I've never been there before, I can get that information. I'm telling you, that's the only 3 messages I look at. The rest of that stuff, it just gets deleted. I do not look at it. So that's just a heads up for you there, Creep. Don't waste your time. Because we probably get 7 or 8, 9 messages that come with the load assignment. Some drivers don't like that. So they prefer a small carrier. There are some small carriers that pay pretty decent. But if they're paying a lot per mile, they tend to lack a lot on their insurance, because a small carrier can't pay out like a mega carrier does all the way around. They don't have the profit margin for it. The money's just not there. They only got 100 trucks. They need to make more than $25 a day per truck. Whereas with a mega carrier, they don't have to have as high a profit margin per truck. You see what I'm saying? So that's the difference there, and that's just math. You will see drivers argue it till you're, I'm telling you. You watch. You wait. Give this video 3 months, come back and look at the comments. You'll see drivers argue it till the cows come home. Okay? But it's just simple math, man. More trucks you got, the more you can pay, because the more fluctuation you have there, the more cushion you have there. That don't mean mega carriers don't have a high cost, because they also have more trucks to provide maintenance for. They also have more trucks to, that might break down or all them types of things. They're also prone to more lawsuits because they have a bigger fleet. You know, you look at Swift. Swift's got what, 15,000 trucks the last I looked, 15 or 16. You know, and obviously it's not hard to look around and see Swift messing up, but it's because of the size. It's because of the size of their company. That's why. It's just a numbers game, man. Any company, I venture to say any company that had 15,000 trucks, you'd be able to look in any direction and see people messing up because there's 15,000 of them. You know what I'm saying? But whatever the case is, you know, to break it down, if you want a company that knows you by name, you need to go with a small company. If you feel like, if you're going to get in your feelings and you're going to be depressed and you want a company to pat you on the back and say, come on in here, Jason, you know, have a seat and talk to me, you're going to want a small carrier, under 100 trucks. All right. That's for sure, right off the rip. Try to find one that pays decent. There are some out there that pay pretty decent. Try to find one with the best insurance, with the lowest premiums. You know, you have to do some shopping around in order to find that. But you can find it. So, basically, it's just up to the driver, you know. I treat all drivers with respect, whether they work for a mega carrier or a small company, or they're an owner-operator, or they're a lease driver. I may tell them I don't agree, and I wouldn't do it that way, but that's me, and that's only my opinion. You know, opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. It doesn't mean everybody has to do what old Snapper's doing, just like I'm not going to do what everybody else is doing. It's up to them. I'm doing what works for me and my family. You know, you got to do what works for you and your family. But if you're new to trucking and you're wondering about this battle that it seems like there is sometimes between the mega carriers and the small carriers, and why you get guys talking bad about mega carriers, that's why. Now, your owner operators will tend to talk bad about mega carriers for a whole different set of reasons. Because mega carriers can operate on a lower profit, they're usually able to outbid small carriers. All right. Not only that, but they take preference at these shippers and receivers because they can do dropping hooks. Which reminds me, that's another benefit to mega carriers over small carriers. Small carriers tend to do more live loads and live unloads, whereas mega carriers tend to do more dropping hooks most of the time. I'm not saying across the board 100%, but most of the time. I bumped a dock down here at when I delivered at a Walmart DC. It's been so long since I bumped a dock in a Walmart DC that I forgot the process. That's how few docks I bump with a mega carrier. I'm always doing dropping hooks. I just go in there, drop, find it empty, come back out. It's been so long since I did a live unload that I had literally forgotten the process to a live unload at a Walmart distribution center. Think about that. That's how many dropping hooks we do. They tell us on our website we do 80%, but really we're, oh God, I might do one live unload, maybe 2 a month. You know, maybe something like that. And you'll see when I start doing some of these interviews, I'll bring some other drivers on that work for the same company I do. And they'll tell you, we don't do live unloads, man. It's rare, really rare. Ooh, excuse me. Chili cheese fries coming back. But I think we have three trailers to every truck, I believe. 3 or 4. I know at the present time we're running more trailers than we were because a lot of the warehouses are not able to get these trucks these trailers unloaded in a timely fashion. It's been a while since I worked for a small company. There's things I like about them, and there's things I don't. Just like with the mega carriers, there's things that I like about it. There's things I don't. But what I told you are the main differences. All right. So Put that in your noggin there, roll it around if you're a new driver, and I'll try it. If you're working for a mega carrier, you just came out of school, do your year with them and then go work for a little company and compare it. Just do your research. Check the reviews on it and see how that goes for you. Talk to other drivers. Look at some of these other YouTubers out here. They've all got opinions on it. And put it together. You know what I'm saying? Make an educated guess. Or an educated decision, I should say, not guess. Well, you know how I always leave you. Remember, we're all family out here. We may be dysfunctional. Yeah, we are. But at the end of the day, we are all family out here. And I got your back. I hope you got mine. I appreciate all y'all that help me out. Appreciate all y'all that promote the channel. And appreciate all y'all that watch. Stay safe. Let's keep trucking.